I'm a professor of political science at Université de Montreal and the co-director of the EU Center of Excellence at McGill University and Université de Montreal. One of the really interesting things that has happened in our center over the past 7 or 8 years is a shift of our attention from the economics of European integration to the politics of European integration. After the 2008 economic crisis, and especially after the 2010 Eurozone crisis, all of our attention was on monetary policy, the economic consequences of the crisis, for example, in Greece, and how the Europeans were trying to find a way to get out of this crisis. And so we were often asked by the media or by government officials to make some sense of what was going on in Europe at the time. Now, since the past year or so, I would say, our attention has really shifted to the political consequences of that Eurozone crisis and the political reaction to the European Union. You look at any European country right now and what you see is either the rise of a populist movement, a referendum on membership, Eurosceptic parties coming to power, or right-wing nationalism becoming more and more popular. And this can all be linked one way or another to the dynamics of European integration. So our group of EUCE members, we're a group of scholars, looks at it from different angles. We have, for example, Laurie Baudonnet, who's interested in public opinion. We have Sven-Oliver Proksch, who looks at political behavior in EU institutions, especially in the European Parliament. We have my co-director, Juliet Johnson, who looks at identity and memory and how they impact people's worldviews, especially in Eastern Europe. And I'm particularly interested in the politics of the European Commission. When Jean-Claude Juncker was elected or was nominated President of the European Commission last year, he said, "I want a more political Commission." What does it mean? That's what I'm interested in, and that's what I look at from the inside of the European Commission. One additional thing that has happened in the center, which is linked to this notion of politics, is how students are increasingly interested in enacting the politics of European integration. So for example, last week we had the 100 student who organized a simulation of the EU Council in our center, trying to find solutions for the crisis. And what we observed is that they were quite ambitious, they were willing to go very far, and they had a very political understanding of the problems and the challenges that the EU is currently facing. So this is what we're doing in our center these days, and I invite you to look up our webpage, centreeurope.ca.